Now we will discuss about the design of design of Butterworth filter. Okay, to design a Butterworth filter, at first you have to know the order of the filter, that is capital N. So capital N is order of the filter, right? So it has to be known. If the order is 1, then we know the Fourier transform or Laplace transform of its impulse response having the denominator, the highest power of s in denominator will be 1. Okay, for when n equal to 1. When n equal to 2, the highest power of s in the denominator of Laplace transform of its impulse response will be 2. Okay, so we have to calculate the values of its poles. Okay, suppose now for a stable normalized Butterworth filter, the normalized poles of Butterworth filter can be obtained by using this formula Sk equal to e to the power j phi k. Okay, where phi k is equal to pi by 2 plus 2k minus 1 by 2n into pi, where k equal to any integer up to its order, that is 1 2 3 up to n, right? Now say for first order Butterworth filter, the value of n equal to 1. Okay, for first order n equal to 1 for first order Butterworth filter. Okay, so in this case there is only one pole, so S1 will be e to the power j phi 1. Okay, where phi 1 is equal to pi by 2 plus 2 into 1 minus 1 into pi by 2 into 1. Okay, so k has only one value, k equal to 1. Okay, so it will be pi by 2 plus pi by 2. So this is pi, right? Now when phi 1 is pi, then s, the value of s will be e to the power minus j pi. So it will be cos pi plus j sin pi. So what is the value of cos pi? That is minus 1. And what is the value of sin pi? That is 0. So it will be minus 1. Okay, so it has only one pole, that is minus 1. Okay, so what will be the denominator? Denominator portion of a first order Butterworth filter, denominator will be s plus 1. If it has a pole of minus 1, then the denominator will be s plus 1, right? In this way we can find n for n equal to 2, that means second order Butterworth filter the denominator is denominator is a square plus root 2s plus 1. Here for second order Butterworth filter, the highest power of s in the denominator is 2. Okay, so for n equal to 3, that is third order Butterworth filter, denominator in abbreviation form den, that is s plus 1 into a square plus s plus 1. In the if you use this formula, you can get a denominator equal to s plus 1 into a square plus s plus 1. Okay, now for n equal to 4, that is fourth order Butterworth filter, denominator will be a square plus 0.76537 s plus 1 into a square plus 1.61803 s plus 1. Like this way you can you have to remember what is the denominator for n equal to 5, for n equal to 6, again for n equal to 7. Okay, for exam purpose you have to remember up to n equal to 6, from 1 to n equal to 6. Okay, now one more important thing is that you have to find out the order of the filter. So order of the filter, Butterworth filter, can be find by using this formula, logarithm of 10 to the power 0.1 alpha s minus 1 divided by 10 to the power 0.1 alpha p minus 1 by log of omega s by omega p. Now here n is the order of the filter, that is greater equal to this. Okay, now what is alpha s, what is alpha p, what is omega s, and what is omega p? If you see from here, in case of low pass filter, there are some attenuation here. This is called pass band attenuation. This portion is called pass band attenuation. So that is denoted by alpha p, right? And this is called stop band attenuation. If I take a dotted line here, this is called stop band attenuation, that is denoted by alpha s. Okay, now pass band attenuation occur at frequency omega p, and stop band attenuation, this attenuation occur at frequency omega s. Okay, so this is the maximum pass band attenuation. See here, this is maximum pass band attenuation, and this is basically minimum stop band attenuation. Here is the maximum value. Okay, here is the maximum value. So this is minimum stop band attenuation. So minimum stop band omega s, alpha s is the minimum stop band attenuation at stop band frequency omega s, and alpha p is the maximum pass band attenuation at pass band frequency omega p, right? Now this portion basically expressed in a simple way by log of lambda by epsilon divided by log of omega s by omega p, right? Now what is lambda here? Lambda is basically where lambda is root over of 10 to the power 0.1 alpha s minus 1, and epsilon is root over of 10 to the power 0.1 alpha p minus 1. Okay, so these are the things. Now if you see here, in case of low pass filter, here is the value of 1 by root over of 1 plus epsilon square. It has the value, this value is similar to this value will be equal to 1 by root over of 1 plus epsilon square, and this value is equal to 1 by root over of 1 plus lambda square. if you calculate then you can see that this value will be equal to this and this value will be equal to 1 by 1 plus root over of 1 plus epsilon square, right? So these are the things. So you have to when you will design a low pass analog low pass Butterworth filter, then what are the steps at first? So steps to design analog low pass Butterworth filter. What are the steps? You can see it in your textbook. The steps are, at first you have to find the order of the filter. So find n, capital N. After that, round off n to its next higher integer value. Okay, so round off n to its next higher integer value. Okay, after that you have to find hs. If you found the value of n, then you can easily find the denominator. So you are able to find hs, the Laplace transform of its impulse response. Okay, then so this is the Laplace transform of its normalized impulse response. Okay, so to get the value of actual impulse response of the filter, so you have to put in hs, that is the modified value of hs will be hs at s equal to s by omega c, because you assume here in case of normalized Butterworth normalized impulse response, omega c is 1. Okay, so you have to put s equal to s by omega c, then you will find the original transfer function of the filter. Okay, so that is the design of analog low pass Butterworth filter, right? Now in my next example, in my next video we will take an example.